Alright, most of us, when we go to the beach, we never really pay attention. We don't use our real eyes, and we get deceived. It's just like going to a magic show where the magician uses uh, smoke and mirrors to deceive you. Well, out here on the water, what we're going to have is I'm going to explain waves and swells to a point here, and maybe this will help you understand. Now, watch these waves on these buildings in the background. See how high they go up? Well, it's just like sitting on a beach. If you get down low to the water, you can only see so far because the swells that are out in front of you will block your vision from seeing further in the distance. So the same thing when you're looking at long distances, you won't see this, but it's there. And this is what deceives us, and we don't normally see it. Now, I slowed down a bunch of this video so I can explain what you're actually seeing. And, you know, people will deny it all they want, but when you put it in slow motion and slow it down, now watch these swells come up on these buildings and block some of it out. And I'm kind of coming back down the shoreline on this. And this is part one of a bunch of videos that I did when I was in Cocoa Beach, and I never really looked at these particular videos. So what I want to do is I'm going to go through them. There's like 6 of them, and I'm going to slow some of them down, and I'm going to show you some of these things. Now, coming up here, there's going to be a little swell that comes up. I mean, you can see them, how it's blocking out the background. And, you know, flat is just like, you know, well, actually, it's not like a ball, but flat is, you got to go up higher to see farther. So if I was to have gone up higher, I would see over this swell, and I would also see the background. So going up higher doesn't necessarily mean you got to go up higher to see over the curvature of Earth. There is no curvature of Earth. It's all flat. Waves and swells out in the ocean will give you the illusion that big boats go over the curve. And in my other parts, I will be explaining to you why this is a deception to our eyes. So, you know, until we can, you know, see past this, we're going to continue to be deceived in our own minds, because we have been taught our whole lives that we live on this globe. But, you know, when we deny what we actually observe, and this is what I'm going to be doing, is showing you all of my observations. And, you know, you can see birds flying around in here. You'll see a bird dip down and go behind this swell but pop back up. And these are the things that are like anomalies that you don't normally see unless you have one of these high-powered zoom cameras. But, you know, as you watch these swells and watch the background and see how much it hides from you. You know, right in here, I believe you're going to get a big swell go by, and you'll see how much it blocks out the background. Actually, I think I passed it while I was talking. But, you know, you really, really have to pay attention in order to see this. But once you do, you start seeing with your real eyes. You know, the illusions are illusions, and the mirroring of the water also hides. There's a portion when you're looking long distance that's hidden, and it's not due to the curvature of Earth, it's due to the mirroring effect. And I think I can show you that later on in a couple of my other videos. But see that swell right there on the right? Okay, that covers up quite a bit of what you're looking at in the background. Um, Anything in front of you that can block you out, like this guy walking in front of me, he blocks out my whole view. Is he bigger than the whole background? No. No, he is not. Now, watch how I show these waves block out people. Um, Now, here's a girl out there on a surfboard, and watch the up close. Watch how the waves will block her out. Um, and you can see how these waves are swelling up, and then you got up and down, just like looking over rolling mountains, rolling hills. You can't see on the other side of it, but if I was to go up higher and look directly down, I'd see her. But you watch how her body will disappear behind this wave, gone. Okay, and that's how these boats appear to be sinking. It's an illusion. Now, you can see how this area here is getting blocked out. Now, I'm going to shoot to another area up here, farther out in the distance. But you can see how she disappears again? These waves or swells will hide her whole body. So again, this is what happens with these boats. They get behind this swell and you cannot see any further. So my camera, because of my height, I'm only going to be able to see so far, and I won't be able to see over the wake or the swell that's out in the foreground. Now you can see the clouds and everything, because of course they're much higher, so I'm able to see those. But what's behind these swells, I cannot see. So this is why when I go to zoom in on this boat out here, you actually don't even really see the swells because of the angular resolution that I'm at. Okay, we don't see these big swells out there. But think about it when a guy goes surfing. When people go surfing, what do? They look for these sandbars that create a big wake and create big waves. So in turn, if you go out and you watch these guys surfing, a lot of times you cannot see behind that wave. You can't see behind the swells. You can only see so far. So this boat isn't on the other side of the curvature. This boat is on the other side of this big swell. Now that boat is miles past this swell, but because of my height, I can only see to this swell. So this is the deception that everybody gets, and then they say, oh, the boat's going over the curvature of Earth. It is not. If I was to go up higher, I would see this whole boat. And if I see the whole boat, then that means I'm up high enough to see over the swell. Now, I have other videos coming up where, I'm going to be explaining this and see if I can wake some people up. See if I can make them use their real eyes. Because this, we've been lied to about many, many things. And this is what we need to realize, is that these boats are not going over the curvature of Earth. They're just going beyond where the height of the observer is standing. I cannot see behind this big swell of water. It is a wall of water. So you can still see how it swells up and the waves are rolling on top of these swells. But if you ever go out in a big boat and you get out there and there's real heavy winds and the swells are blowing up, one minute you'll be able to see a boat in front of you, the next minute all you see is a wall of water. And this is where I say that if you are far out away, the boat will appear to be sinking. And I've got some good examples coming up in the next parts. So I like I say, I got about 6 parts to this video that I'm going to put out. And hopefully after people watch this, they will understand why you can't see over a wave or why you can't see over a swell. It's because of your height. You're not able to see it because you're not high enough in the air. Again, it's not seeing over the curvature of Earth, it's seeing over the swells or seeing over the waves. If you can't see over it, whatever's behind it will appear to be cut off. Like I say, it's a ramp, it's a wall of water. Now I'm going to zoom back away from this boat and I'm going to show you this girl surfing again here. And again, just watch how her body disappears from your view. But if I went up higher, say if I stood on this pier that I'm standing next to and was videotaping down, even this guy right here, he disappears. Now she's going to dip down behind this wave that's coming up and boom, she's disappearing. So half of her body's gone up. There she comes back out. You can see over it because the wave moves off. Again, you know, we look at these and we don't understand what we're really looking at because we've been brainwashed into saying we live on this globe. So no, we don't. Earth is flat, but it's not completely flat. It has mountains and valleys, just like the water has mountains and valleys of water. Stay tuned to my channel for part 2. I think you'll like it, and it will open your eyes.